Hello and welcome to another episode of Prophetcast. Today is August 17th, 2014. I'm Dave Curry.
And I'm Nancy Drew.
That's Nancy Drew. And as always, Prophetcast is brought to you by the Thought Prophets. The Thought Prophets is an atheist/secular group dedicated to the promotion of open discussion, continuous learning, skepticism, and science. You can check us in our discussions on Facebook by simply searching for Thought Prophets. Find us on iTunes and Podbean, or you can go to podcast.thoughtprophets.com, or you can find our entire backlog of episodes on YouTube. Yeah, sorry, getting tongue-tied. By searching for Prophetcast on YouTube. Now, before I introduce our guest tonight, just have a couple little announcements that I have to go through here. So the past 2 weeks we've been on vacation. We've been looking over a lot of what we want to do with the podcast and what we're doing with our lives and what's happening to us. There's some changes that are going to be going on here. Some people are going to be taking a break from the show. The main person who's taking a break from doing the podcast is my partner in crime, Steve. He's taking a break for to work on his professional life, his family life, and his mental life. A couple episodes back when it was just Steve and I, we were talking. We were getting real on what was going on here, and he's going through a lot right now, and so we all decided that, on his decision that it's best for him to take a step back and to focus on other things right now. So what that means is that I'm going to be taking over the show. I'm going to be running.
Woo!
Yeah.
A little more, a little more flexible. Not saying that Steve was restrictive on what we can do with the show, but it's because I'm the only wife here, so I'm going to make this really lax. We're going to try and work on showtime, frequencies, duration. Basically, we're going to open it up to not going to limit it to an hour-long show, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, hour, 2 hours if we can, whatever. And the reason that we're going to be doing some of these changes is, not only because I'm busy as well, but we don't charge for these videos. We don't have a Patreon. We don't monetize our videos. We do a lot of this for the people who watch, and in that way, I want to actually open this up to bring in a lot more people into the conversation, to create a more diverse voice of atheism, not just by grabbing the big names or the people who are out there being all activists. My video's off. Crap. Okay. Technical difficulties. Thanks for pointing that. And if you are wanting to get onto the show, if you want to talk about news, if you have anything that you want to bring to the table, if you have a blog, if you write a book, if you do vlogs, whatever, I want to talk to you. I want you. So you can contact me at DaveTheist on Twitter, and that's Dave Theist. If you say it fast, it sounds like atheist, whatever. Or you can keep this running. Hopefully we can keep the content good for you guys and get this running. But yeah, those are going to be changes that are coming up, and hopefully it'll be a good change here. So now that I got that out of the way, I can introduce our very special guest. And tonight I'm happy to introduce a fellow podcaster, local Washingtonian, and activist, one of the hosts of the Atheist Nomads show, Mr. Wesley Bonetti. It is Bonetti, right?
You nailed it. How's it going?
Nailed it. Doing all right. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty damn good, thanks, Dave.
Awesome. Glad to have you here.
Hey, there he is.
Yay.
radio show, whatever you want to call it, but called what is it called again?
Atheist Nomads.
Yeah. I guess, do you want to get a little pimpins out there? How can people?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. If you want to find us, you got atheistnomads.com. We're on Stitcher and iTunes. Of course, we have a Facebook group. Go to fb.com/atheistnomads. We're on Twitters at Atheist Nomads. And
The
all
Twitters,
the Twitters.
the Twitters, awesome. And so, I guess, well, every time that we have somebody to tell us a little bit about your, we used to say what labels you subscribe to, but then people didn't like that because it felt like we were just trying to get you to say that you were an atheist. But
Nah, totally. My labels. I am an atheist, agnostic, and a secular humanist.
Oh, you cut out on me.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay, I am an atheist.
Now I got you.
Agnostic, secular humanist, and definitely a secular humanist, but with hedonistic tendencies.
Lost you there for a second. But...
No. Last time, atheist, agnostic, humanist, with hedonistic tendencies.
There you go. Awesome.
Basically, I do whatever feels good, as long as it doesn't.
You started on doing.
Sorry. It's all good.
Yeah, our audio, I guess.
Oh boy.
Problem was happening to. I'll try to watch you and see when you're talking. This problem was happening to our friend's podcast, Godless Family. They were having all sorts of connections problems. So hopefully it's not going to be as bad as that. But anyway. So the podcast, how did you guys get started on doing what you're doing over there? Like, what was the motivation to? Because I know that you started a couple, or at least helped to found a couple of the local atheist groups out here, right?
Yeah, sure did. The Kitsap Atheists and Agnostics and the Kitsap County Skeptics groups. I helped found those 4 or 5 years ago now. But me and Dustin actually found each other by listening to a podcast that he was guest hosting on. Used to be an old one called Chariots of Iron. And we became good friends, and I started writing on his blog. And a couple of years ago, we decided to start a podcast.
Nice. And so, I guess it was like, who was the first one to come up with the idea? Was it kind of just a mutual thing to get out there and be like, hey, let's do a podcast? Because I got to say, it was probably motivated by your sexy voice there.
Ha! You damn right. How you doing? Yeah, it was something that we kind of bandied around a little bit, but once we started really talking about it, we just got on it really quick and dove in the deep end and totally didn't know what we were doing. And I guess we still don't really, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because I still feel like we haven't even hit our groove. Like, our first couple episodes were horrible. Horrible.
I'm an expert already, so it's all good.
Oh, right.
Totally. Nice.
I mean, shoot, she was only on the show once, and already it's like, hey, you want to be a co-host for a while? Come on.
Yeah. Ladies got skills.
Absolutely. Awesome. So I guess after getting it started, what kind of feedback have you gotten?
I'll be honest, we get almost no hate mail, and I'm really sad about that. But we get some really happy people, writing into us that, kind of, I'm sure like you guys, that we have people saying we're really in a bad area of the country or the world, and you guys give us hope, give us a little bit of peace and let us smile, or, shake our fist at, X person doing X bad thing.
Nice.
Yeah, most people were it seems like we're helping, so that's a big motivation to keep on going. That, and we get to talk to all of our heroes.
Oh, right. Yeah. I listened to a couple of your most recent episodes, but I mean, do you have any big names that you can put out there? Name drop a little bit, new people coming on.
Sure, that we've had on before. Jay Novella from The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. He was amazing. David Fitzgerald. He's a atheist, secular, and softcore porn, you might say, author. Amazing, great, just completely awesome guy. He wrote Nailed. That's one of his amazing books. Let's see. David Silverman from American Atheists.
Oh, nice.
We got to speak with him for about an hour and a half. I mean, like, how many people get that chance? Or Teresa McBain, Jerry DeWitt, both of them who went through the Clergy Project. They were the first couple out. Amazing people.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to get him on here to talk about the Clergy Project, or at least just to get in contact with him. DeWitt is awesome.
Jerry, he's got the heart of a lion, and the hair. His hair's like a mane, so it's just like fits in. It's just awesome. Yeah, nice. I'll be happy to put you in touch with him. He's just an amazing guy.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great. Hey, making connections here already, man. Shoot, I can only imagine what's going to happen when we go get some beers. Hey,
liquor me up. The world's
nice.
Yours.
Perfect. Shoot, now we just got to narrow down a place to get drunk at. So, so no negative feedback from the show, huh? That kind of seems like...
We've had a couple people, but they're just some really weak sauce people. Like, you should be a Muslim. They are the...
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, hey, thanks. Thanks for listening. There's nobody that's actually given us a really structured argument other than saying they didn't like our audio or they didn't like what we had to say. And I'm like, all right, well, thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still listening.
Right. Maybe they think that it'll just get better with time, but...
No, it really won't. What you hear is what you're going to get.
Nice.
But yeah, we have about an hour of news, history, sports, technology. Not really sports, I'll be honest. Then the second hour, yes, we have about a 2-hour show. Second hour-ish is interview of whoever we have that week. Like Hemet Mehta was our last one, the Friendly Atheist.
Oh, nice.
I like how it's structured, how you guys have the news in the beginning. It's really informative and it's fun to listen to.
Well, thank you, and your check's in the mail.
Sponsor. Nice. So I guess have you and Dustin, I mean, like, do you have any goals to go with for the show? I mean, like, is there a I guess goals doesn't sound very...
We would love to be able to hit a convention or two sometime so that we can, do some on-the-road interviews. Both of us have road box, like microphones and everything just ready to go. That would be awesome. Make some new contacts and...
Yeah.
But as far as like personal goals, something that I helped do when it was a big issue in our state, R74, the Marriage Equality Act for Washington State. I helped raise a lot of money for that, me and a bunch of friends, so that was something that I really want to do more of when there's a project that deserves our attention.
Nice. So just kind of along the same lines of what we were looking to do, also just kind of getting more involved with charities and things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, you should do the Warrior Dash with me next year, or some of the Tough Mudders that I'm going to do next year. Oh man, it was cake. It really was. It wasn't that bad, but my legs did hurt a little bit the next day. And okay, sorry.
I might. I know I have a couple of friends that do it.
Yeah, it was a really good experience, and yeah, I definitely can see where you want to go and do that kind of thing. That just feels like you're getting the podcast to do a little bit more, stepping beyond just the screen or the headphones.
Yeah, I'll be honest. We don't really ask too much for support, and we don't really get much support. So it basically funds our Libsyn account and for our bandwidth and such. That's about it. So we might actually have to start stepping up and asking people to join and actually help fund some good projects.
Oh man, so you may have to open up a Patreon?
We have one, but we don't really announce it very often.
Oh, there you go. Well, you can announce it now if you like. Feel free to pimp whatever you like.
Well, I believe our Patreon is over at, just search for Atheist Nomads on their site and it should pull right up.
There you go. Everybody go donate. Yeah. Go do it.
Right now.
Go to atheistnomads.com, and on the side of the page there's a link to our Amazon click-through that you should use so that Dustin doesn't know that it's only me buying sex toys through the website.
There you go. Oh yeah, so you guys do have a link through Amazon. What have you taken a look to see what people have purchased through that? Oh
yeah, you can see what people purchase, but you do not know who purchased them.
Right.
So just want to make that clear. We don't know who's buying X
all the
stuff,
sex toys and all that.
Wow.
That's usually me. I'll be honest, but I use our click-through to help donate to the show.
There you go.
But yeah, there's some interesting stuff.
Nice. That would be interesting to check that out. I don't even want to know what some of our viewers would get. Like, Cordy, I don't want to know what you would pick up from Amazon. I gave you a link. But
or Paul.
I don't know, but he's got family, though. I don't know what he would pick up from there. But my wife keeps telling me that, at least on her screen, that the feed is kind of cutting in and out. So hopefully people are actually watching this shit. Shoot. Well, awesome. Great, man. I mean, we're both in Washington. We'll have to get together here and try to do a little bit of collaboration,
Definitely.
Sure.
My buddy Sam, he runs the Ask an Atheist actual radio show out of Tacoma.
Oh, right, yeah.
Also, askanatheist.tv. I'll pimp him too. He does after parties. We can always hit up there too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nancy.
No, I was just going to say I'm so jealous. All you cool people live on the other side of the country.
You should be.
We were telling you that you should just come out here. I mean, the housing market's not that bad.
I'll bet you it's way better than where you're at.
Possibly.
And I mean, if anything, I got 5 acres worth of land where I'm at. If you just want to develop a house on it, I'm sure I could talk the correct people into allowing you to do it.
I'll have to keep that under consideration.
Nice, awesome. Well, yeah, I really enjoy what you have going on there with, from what I've heard so far with your show there. I definitely recommend everybody to go and check out what you guys are doing.
Badass.
Heck yeah, man! I'll start, I'll start whoring myself out on the show for you guys and putting you in our pimpins. Which just reminds me, I completely forgot to write those, which means we should probably start talking about news stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So, there's a lot that we came up with in the way of news articles here, and there's been a lot that's been going on this past week. First thing, I guess, that you definitely recommended, Nancy, and I completely agree that we should talk about this wonderful man. If you want to give us the skinny on the most recent death list.
The most recent death list, okay.
Well, the one of the most significant. I mean, you could argue that the boy that died in Ferguson is probably one of the most important ones that's going on right now. But celebrity-wise,
I can't even think about Ferguson, so let's focus on
right?
so Robin Williams. Yeah, so apparently he committed suicide last week, and at first they weren't sure, but now it came out that I guess he hung himself.
Hmm.
He has been dealing with depression and substance abuse problems for a long time, but his wife, I believe, did say that he had his sobriety under control. So that was good.
Yeah.
They did come out and say that he had early symptoms of, or early signs of Parkinson's disease. So a lot of people were saying that might have had to do with it, like he didn't want to have to live with that debilitating
Yeah.
disease.
Yeah, that was the most recent or the last piece of news that I heard also, that his substance abuse was under control, but that he was in the early stages of Parkinson's, and that can just send a person who's already dealing with depression, having a major condition like that thrown on you.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
It's definitely horrible, but it's not a. I mean, it is definitely a progressive disease, but can generally take a very long time. It can still lead a very full life.
Oh, right. I mean, look at it's Michael J.
Michael J.
Fox,
Fox.
right? Yeah, he has
Yeah.
Parkinson's, and I mean, he's lived I mean, albeit he hasn't been in very much, in the way of acting since it really took a hold of him, but he's still around and he's living a fairly, decent life.
Yeah.
And then his daughter, actually, so many people harassed her afterward that she ended up, I guess, quitting Twitter, deleting everything and that kind of stuff, which is just horrible. That's like not even in my programming, like to think to do something that horrible to someone who's just lost their father. I just can't even imagine.
Oh, right. I mean, and of course it would probably be a bunch of the fundamentalist right-wing Christians and the same people who would say that suicide is a sin, or it's a weakness, or it's a sign of cowardice, like Shep from Fox News said, that he was so much of a coward to leave his family and kill himself like that, which is just ridiculous.
A lot of people said the same thing about Kurt Cobain.
Right.
There's a ton of people. I totally understand where people are brave when they have that anonymous wall that the internet generally provides, but
Mm-hmm.
that's no excuse to be an ass.
Yeah, serious. To attack someone, especially his daughter, Zelda, the one with the coolest name, in my opinion. To just completely attack her for something that her father did, but at the same time, sins of the father.
Yeah, I mean, they were actually photoshopping images and tweeting them to her of what was supposedly his body when it
Oh my
definitely wasn't.
God.
Damn.
Why?
Yeah,
Like
why
what possesses people to do stuff like that? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I can't even wrap my brain around it, because I mean, like I've dealt with, and I think that a lot of people have, at least at one point in their life, dealt with some sort of form of depression, and yeah, I mean, there's just, it's not something that you can control. It's not something that you can just flip a light switch, and then it's all better. Like when you're dealing with depression, especially in those stages where you get to that point, it's tough. It's tough, and it's something that you can't control. Especially like it bothers the hell out of me when people say that it's a sign of cowardice. It's like, how cowardly is it to, especially in some of these waves when someone hangs themselves, to be brave enough to end your life that way, to think that is the only option that you have.
And when people say it's selfish, that really bothers me, because I am sure that most of those people are thinking more about their families and the people around them than anything else. And a lot of times people think that their families will be better off without them.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why, part of why they do it. So for people to say it's selfish or, like you said, it's cowardly, it just boils my blood.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I guess, I mean, I just wasn't even wanting to take a look at some of the shit that was on Twitter that was being said, about him. But I guess that there was a religious gleeful reactions from some people because in some instances he mocked religion.
Yes, some people were saying, like, I saw this one tweet that said, now he believes in God, or, people
Ew.
were like, yeah, or saying stuff like, haha, atheists go to hell, or people who commit suicide go to hell, and just like stuff like that. And it just boggles the mind. Like, you would think that if they knew that someone was going to hell, they would feel sad about that. Like, oh my gosh, this person lost their soul, to hell or whatever. But no, they're thrilled. They act thrilled about it.
Hmm. I just don't even know. That's just fucking horrible. Well, I mean, that also goes along with who is it? Is it Matt Dillahunty that says it? Where like being able to watch people burn in hell while you're in heaven is a form of like of entertainment for these people.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like very interesting. That's like watching a snuff film for the rest of eternity.
Right.
Why would you want to do that?
I think it's something that a lot of people don't think about. Like, I don't think that they think about the concept of, well, while you're in heaven, like, partying, like, can you hear people in hell, like, screaming in torture? Like, or is it just you have no concept of that, like, it's totally blocked off from you? Like, people don't even consider that.
I totally forget who actually said it, but one of the old stories that was like I don't know, Middle Ages, that one of the guys saying what heaven was actually being able to listen and watch the torment of those in hell.
Ugh.
Wow.
I just imagine like a row of red phones where you can just pick up a phone and listen to one of the 7 layers of hell or whatever. Just kind of phone in. Let me hear what's
That's like
going on.
that's like psychopathic, like that kind of reaction to other people's pain and suffering. I can't even imagine.
Well, that's why it's ridiculous to us because it's just completely unlogical, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for that entire concept. But yeah, geez, that is just terrible. I just can't even imagine. And yet, we're supposed to, watch our tongues about these, these religious leaders that die, like the Westboro Baptist Church leader. When he went on, it's like you don't get to say shit about him. It's like, well, if there is a hell, that bastard's going to be burned. So take
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And so some people wanted to protest his death, but I kind of felt like I always feel like, even with people on Twitter and things like that, I feel like it's better to take the higher road and show them that, like, atheists act in a better way than Christians do most of the time.
I've actually, I mean, Fred Phelps, yeah, definitely a horrible person, but
Right, Phelps.
his son though, goodness, I've actually met him a couple of times, and I felt really bad,
The
Sure,
one who was
Sure, I mean, Nate,
down, right? Right.
Nate, I mean,
Mhm.
it's his father. I mean, Fred is still definitely a bad guy, but it's still Nate's dad.
Yeah, yeah.
And as much as I disliked Fred, out of respect for Nate, I didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess, they do still have a family, and they are still, someone's father, someone's brother, whatever, grandfather. But at the same time, it's like, I like to try and look at people's, people's actions and judge it on that. And it's like, yes, he was a father, but he kind of did a shitty job of it, at least in my opinion, when it comes down to it. So
completely. But we need some. I mean, sure, they're definitely a lot of them are very hateful people in that church.
right.
But it gives us something to point at. I'll say that. But still, even with all that crazy in there, people, they're low profile, but there's a lot of people leaving that church too.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of Westboro Baptist, I heard rumors that they were going to protest Robin Williams' funeral.
They protest, of course. Yeah, shit. It's like, I could have just expected that. Shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's just terrible.
Well, I wouldn't really put it past them. They are basically a family of lawyers, so they go out there, they protest, they get sued, and then the attorneys go out there and win money from whoever sues them for winning their case and getting money back.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, everything about that church is just ridiculous, so I don't even know.
Even Fred had his lawyer's license revoked, but
Huh, nice. Now, have you guys listened to some of the parody songs that they've put out?
No.
Oh, they have an entire catalog of songs that are just parody songs where, and it's funny actually, Steve brought this to my attention. He was like, check out this funny-ass parody song. He thought that it was like making fun of the Westboro Baptist Church. No.
It was by them?
Yes, and
Wow.
they did a bunch of like Beatles covers. They even did a parody of the main Frozen song, "Let It Go."
No.
That's the one that I was super pissed off about because it was just all about you need to let it I don't even know. It was just horrible. They were completely distorted the message, but that's what they do. So.
Oh, that's a horrible.
Yeah, so check it out on iTunes. I'm pretty sure it's out there.
really, nice.
Don't buy it.
No, don't buy it. Right. Just kind of, listen to the preview. Shoot. Well, to try and get, a little bit more uplifting about this whole Robin Williams things. I mean, he did have an amazing movie career. He, he was a part of my childhood. I can't remember. I think the first movie that I ever saw him in was either Aladdin or Mrs. Doubtfire.
Doubtfire.
Yeah,
I grew up on reruns of Mork and Mindy.
Oh yeah, I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes of that. But so favorite Robin Williams movie, to try and touch this out on a nice note before we move into some of this other horrible shit.
Nancy?
Oh, I think my first Robin Williams movie was Aladdin. I have to go. I know it's so corny, but I'm a huge Disney fan. I love Aladdin, so.
Favorite though, or first one that you saw?
It would probably be between Aladdin and Hook, because I loved Hook. I know they're like, the more childish of his movies, but they're like the first ones I remember, and that's like how I remember him. Although I did just watch What Dreams May Come, David.
What did you think? What did you think?
I thought it was really cool. It was really interesting. It was weird. The whole time I was kind of wondering like what I would have thought of it when I had been a Christian, and like what I thought of it now. But I thought it was in either scenario, whether I was religious or not. I thought it was a cool concept, like the hell concept and the heaven concept. I thought that was really neat. But as an atheist, I still liked it. I heard some people commenting, like on Twitter, about being an atheist and how it's not like a good movie, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like I enjoy that movie also. I thought it was a good one. I think yeah, like because I watched it before I became an atheist, and then I watched it again, a couple months ago. But um, I don't know. I think that you can still just kind of take it for the story aspect of it. Just kind of
Right.
not necessarily the actual content, but yeah, the storytelling aspect of it is what I kind of enjoyed, and I thought that it was a really good performance done by him anyway. So I like his serious stuff.
Yeah, it really was good.
I'm
Wesley,
going. I'm going for a threefer.
ooh,
Uh, Good Morning Vietnam was just awesome, especially
okay,
when he was actually on the radio on that show. Just watching him riff like that was just amazing. Uh, the Birdcage, just because that's
ah,
amazing.
hmm.
He plays an awesome gay guy, and just
Oh
funny as
right,
hell.
yes.
Hank Azaria, and who else was in that?
Ah, shoot,
Gene Hackman was in there as the senator.
right.
Let's see,
Oh,
and
that is a good one.
last one, really old, Moscow on the Hudson.
Hmm.
I
Where he
haven't seen
plays
that.
a Russian immigrant, comes to the U.S. and he's just overwhelmed by everything. He comes from such a poor country over there to here where there's just an amazing amount of plenty,
Hmm.
and it just so much culture shock, and it's a great movie.
Yeah. I saw that, luckily they actually have a lot of his movies on Netflix right now. So,
I was just gonna say that.
right? Like, the only movies that I didn't see on there, I think, were Patch Adams and one that's in, I think that I have a top three as well, Wesley. Do you mind if I call you Wes or Wesley?
Wesley, hey you, that guy.
Okay. Hey you, yes, hey you. I also have a three for, but Death to Smoochie also is not on there.
Yes.
Yes, that is probably in my top three. Also, Toys. I love that movie.
Death to Smoochie, that has Bobcat Goldthwait in it, doesn't it?
I think so. It also has shit. I am not remembering names today. Guy from Fight Club.
Nice.
Not hit, but oh, damn,
Eric.
can't remember. Anyway,
I'm blanking out.
Edward Norton.
Edward
Edward
Norton. Yes, also one of the bad Hulks. So Death to Smoochie Toys, and then it's really kind of a toss-up between, yeah, Hook and Mrs. Doubtfire. But I think that Hook kind of plays out a little bit over Mrs. Doubtfire in the end.
It's funny because if you go on Netflix, it's the top 5. It says popular on Netflix, and like the top 5 are all Robin Williams movies.
Oh, right, yeah. Should have a marathon. That's what we should do when we get together, Wes. We should just do a Robin Williams marathon.
I got a projector.
Bam! Perfect. Shoot. Okay. So, I guess good transition as any. We have a lot to talk about here. What do you, Wes? You pick out one of these to talk about, because
Oh, crap.
I don't want to make the decision.
Okay. Where's that shared page? There we go. In the news. Oh, come on. How about the teen missionaries possessed by a demon?
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I was hoping I was gonna pick a number between 1 and 5 and try to make whatever number it was to be this story. Yeah, this was the top story that I found, at least for me, that I wanted to talk about. But yes, last week a teen missionary was possessed by a demon. You can only guess what he did when he was possessed by that demon.
Did he tell funny jokes?
Maybe? Like, maybe, I don't want to say afterwards, but
Yeah.
but so this story was posted on August 6th. There's more updates to come on this story, I'm sure, but I didn't want to update it because I didn't want to hear any more about this stupid shit. But an Oklahoma teen by the name of Matthew Lane Durham, aged 19, admitted to raping and sexually molesting several children out of a Kenyan orphanage that he would regularly do missionary trips to. And his reasons for doing so, he was possessed by a demon. And this demon apparently had a name, Luke, as Durham called it, would whisper in his ear through the day, and at night the demon's darkness would overtake him, causing him to sexually assault children as young as 4 and as old as 10. Already we can tell that this is one sick fuck and a bad individual.
Seriously, who names their junk Luke?
Serious, right? I mean, you know,
He's got issues right there.
mini-me.
Why would a demon have such a biblical name too?
I was wondering that.
Right. Well, I mean, he gets into it more because apparently he was like exchanging text messages with one of his friends, and basically confessing to all of these, these rapes and sexual assaults. In text messages to his friend, he said, quote, "How can I not hate this thing inside me? It takes me at night, and I am powerless over what Luke wants. Yes, I named him. I know how crazy that is. He whispers in my ear all day, and it's so hard to resist." And he continued to say that literally he, Luke, takes me at night, and there is nothing I can do to stop him. I'm asleep. What can I do? I've prayed so much, but every night Luke gets what Luke wants.
Wow.
And if you can guess his friend's response to this horrible confession, you should buy yourself a lotto ticket. Anybody guess? Want to take a smack at it, even though you've already read, what I have up here. Basically, his friend said that he should laugh in the demon's face and brush it off. And hopefully the demon won't possess you the next night and help you molest little children.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so.
And this was after the charges came out, right?
No, this was like after he was charged and after he was the prosecutor came out with these text messages and submitted them into the court and was like, here's further evidence of the bullshit, because he admitted that he was raping these children, and he confessed to raping at least 10 children, boys and girls, and one of the accused victims is confirmed HIV positive.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you can only imagine just the horrible bullshit that's coming along that also.
Well, I'm sure that only Luke will get AIDS, not Matthew.
Oh, right. And, not the other children that were exposed because of, yeah, that's...
He's a good and loving God.
Exactly. I mean, they're already fighting against the demon-possessed condom in these countries. So, not like they already have an HIV problem over there as it is, but, yeah, through all of this, an Oklahoma judge granted this fucking idiot judge granted this guy bail and put him on a 24-hour lockdown in his home, and he was not to come in contact with children. Prosecutors, of course, are going to appeal this, but yeah, he basically said, I know you're confessing to all of this, and you tell me that this is what happened, but I'm just going to send you home instead of putting you in jail, and you can't leave your house.
Wow.
Sounds fair.
I guess they figure as long as he's not over in Africa with the underprivileged children, he won't be doing anything, but...
I suppose. I can't even be too sure. I mean, this guy definitely sounds like a threat. I mean, at the very least. And even more disturbing, his parents are completely siding with against all of this. They don't believe the allegations against their son. And even though he has come out to confess to all of this, that he has said, yes, I did all of this, I raped these children, but I was possessed by a demon, His parents are saying that he's completely innocent.
So they don't even think that he did it with the demon.
Or that they believe that he was possessed by the demon and therefore he couldn't have done it at all because he wasn't in control.
Ridiculous.
Sounds legit.
That it doesn't hold up in a court of law. The only thing that they could do is maybe if they declare him incompetent to stand trial, he might have a chance of just getting like mental health help and then not going to jail. But if they try to plead insanity, that doesn't usually work out for people.
I'll say 10-1. He's not going to jail for more than a year, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, and I mean that's what I was thinking also, was it like could he have been thinking ahead so far that he, set up these text messages and set up this whole demon possession to get set up on that insanity plea, cuz like if you like if you were the judge, what would you do if he came into the court and he submitted his demon possession as evidence. Like,
you know what? I could actually believe that he thinks he was actually possessed. Take it from this angle, saying that he comes from a very fundamentalist religion, I'm guessing, sect.
More than likely.
I'm going to assume this. And if that's the case, then if he's having gay tendencies or, if he's gay or just actually attracted to young children, he could say that's not something that has anything to do with me. That must be a demon that's causing me to do this.
People really do think that.
Yes. So he could actually believe that, this is something that it must be external to me.
That he was raised up in such a fundamentalist way that any kind of deviant behavior is the work of the devil.
Yeah, that I'm a good Christian, and so anything that's not good must be of the devil.
Somebody that I follow on Twitter recently, or maybe this was like a month or so ago, but he said that he had a friend whose boyfriend or husband was making her get an exorcism for the demon of like being a slut or being a whore or something, because she had I don't know if it was like she cheated on him or if it was like she wanted to have sex a lot, like she had a good sex drive, but he was making her get exercise because for the demon of lust or something like that. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
I mean, an exorcism wouldn't do much. Exercise might, tire her out enough, but
they actually, I've read that exercise is like gives you it's an aphrodisiac, I should say.
Wait, like exercises as the exorcism or exercises like going on a quick run?
Like exercise, like physical exercise.
Because I'll start doing exorcisms if it works as an aphrodisiac.
I could totally see it if you're only doing a little bit, but if you're running your ass so you're dragging, you're like, screw it, I'm just going to bed.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah.
If you got leg cramps, you're not going to want to do too much.
True. Yeah.
Wait, screw it. Wait. You know what? I exercise so much, my my body's aching. I'm just going to lay here, but I'm really horny, so why don't you come on over this way?
Unless you both work out together, then that just doesn't.
I'm going to lay, I'm really horny, but I'm just going to lay here on my back. Just saying.
You can moan together. Kind of.
Oh, it feels good. Oh, it hurts. Ow. It feels good. Ow.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, we don't need to get, super lazy up in here, but... okay, so we're getting really close onto our time for an hour here. We should probably move on to another one of these stories.
Sure.
I'll pick the next one if you want.
Go for it, yeah.
All right, so a Christian broadcaster said that Ebola could cleanse the U.S. of atheists, gay people, and sluts. Um, he said that the Ebola epidemic could become a global epidemic, and that's another name for plague. So right there, it's like they see Ebola is a plague, so it must be God sending his plagues. Like when you believe in, the 10 plagues of on the Egyptians and all that stuff, it's not that far of a stretch to believe that God could send Ebola to cleanse the U.S.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, it also goes along with the whole end times.
Yeah.
That there's supposed to be plagues and all these things that are happening before Jesus comes.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
He said it could solve America's problems with atheism, homosexuality, sexual promiscuity, pornography, and abortion. My favorite part is this next part. He says the day before he said all this stuff, he warned that President Barack Obama might intentionally spread the deadly virus through a mandatory and mysterious vaccine.
Ooh.
So it's like on the one hand he's like warning people against a vaccine because Obama.
Right.
But on the other hand he's saying that what is it only going to affect atheists and sexually promiscuous people? Like it doesn't discriminate.
Wait, sexually promiscuous people? What, like all those nice little Christian boys and girls that are having all that unprotected sex? Because they don't have sex ed?
Oh, right. No, yeah, and this was, who was this? This was, I had it here.
Rick Wiles.
Rick Wiles. Yeah. Rick Wiles, I love that. No, yeah, that's really funny how he thinks that, it's just going to, like, overlook Christians. Like you're going to have a room full of people and they're going to be exposed to Ebola and only the non-Christians are going to, get affected by it. But then you say, well, you say that other Christians are non-Christians all the time. Which denomination are we talking about here? How do you determine who doesn't get the virus or not?
Well, he says if it becomes a global plague, you better make sure you have the blood of Jesus upon you. You better make sure you've been marked by the angels so that you are protected by God.
Great.
So that's how you know.
So we're back to putting blood above all of our doors so that God knows which house to visit, kind of like Santa Claus.
I never understood that. Even as a kid, like if God knows everything. Yeah, why do you have to paint the blood so that he makes sure he doesn't accidentally kill you?
Whoopsie, hey. Sorry, didn't mean to get you. Well, there's no blood up there, so, hey. You know what? Rick Wiles, maybe he's just trying to be the next Harold Camping because we need to have apocalypse predictions. And there's really good money in that.
Yeah, we haven't had a good one in a little while. Except for the whole blood red moons that was coming on.
Yeah.
Who said that? Or it was like sometime between now and the last blood red moon. Like, okay, we've got a good couple of months of span here between all of those. Give me a date. I want to set up a party.
It's funny because, like, I used to read, even as a Catholic, we don't believe in, like, the rapture and stuff. Like, that's, like, a fundamentalist Christian or, like, Baptist, they believe in the rapture.
Yep.
Catholics don't, but I did used to love those Left Behind books when I was a Christian.
Oh.
And it was, like, I was really, like, going against what I supposedly believed, but it was fascinating to me. So I was surprised when like all this Israel versus Gaza stuff was coming up. I was like waiting for all of the, the apocalyptic prophecies to come up because I believe in Revelation they think that when Israel makes like a 7-year pact for peace or something, that's when all the stuff starts. So it's like when Israel calms down, people are going to start freaking out.
When people actually find peace, that's when war's going to start.
Exactly.
All right, speaking about Nicolas Cage, who's actually going to see the new Left Behind movie? Because I am.
Is there a movie coming out?
Oh, yes. They've already had a couple trailers put out.
I
Oh,
did
it
not
looks
know that.
Nicolas Cage
fantastic.
is the star of this new Left Behind movie.
Oscar-winning
No.
performance, in my opinion. This is going to be what gets him another Oscar.
I am so gonna watch it.
I think I'm gonna watch it too. And while perusing Netflix the other day, they actually have the original Kirk Cameron movie on Netflix, and I'm tempted to watch that, but it's Kirk Cameron.
I don't think I ever saw the movie. I was obsessed with the books though. I read all the books.
I have a feeling that it's gonna be just as good as Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
What?
Wait, really? Oh,
Really?
oh, wow, yeah. They did a MST3K, I think, did a teardown of Santa Claus versus Conquers the Martians. It's from 1964. It's amazing.
Oh
You need to
man,
watch it.
I may have to.
One of the most horrible movies ever.
Oh, in that case, I'll just go and torrent it later. Um, Shoot. Okay. Yeah, and it's funny how, oh man, that it'll just take care of atheism and all of their problems. Isn't that amazing? How they just, they don't sit around and think, oh man, well we could probably, make these changes ourselves, or we could speak out. No, they need some sort of external force to take care of all of their problems, like a disease.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But like I said, it's when you believe that the God of the Bible did this back in Egypt, like that's the kind of thinking. It's already in their thinking that this is a real thing that happened. So it's not that hard to believe that they would make that jump. But at the same time, they with Obama, it's like, okay, so if Christians get Ebola, it's like Obama's fault. But if atheists get Ebola, it's God punishing us. Like,
Oh, that's just lovely. It's terrible. No, that's terrible.
You can't lose. Not with reasoning like that.
exactly.
Well, it's the same reasoning that they do for natural disasters. They'll sit there and say that, like, Katrina was, God's wrath for all of the horrible sinners, even though, that whole strip wasn't even touched.
Yeah.
You
it's
guys just had a
basically
podcast on this. Sorry.
Bourbon Street, yeah.
Yeah, so God's gonna throw Katrina because of the gay, which is like not centered there at all.
Because
Who wants to be down there?
you would think that it would go after, like, San Francisco in that case, right?
You kind of think that, or fucking Washington State.
Oh, yeah.
We have one of the best areas for gay people to live. Most tolerant, most just overall awesome area.
Well, shoot. I mean, my wife, she actually, she's a photographer, and she did a photography for a lesbian wedding. So,
Badass.
yeah, I mean, it was awesome. They were, they had been together for like years, 30 years. Thanks,
Oh
babe.
my goodness.
And then they, finally got married. Like once, they were able to actually do it, which, it's amazing how this is a transition into one of our stories that we have on here, but
You
unfortunately,
did it on purpose, David.
I know. Oh, we could talk about this real quick, but we're up at the hour point here.
You just said you were going to be flexible with the
Yeah, totally.
time.
What do you think?
Ooh, let's do it.
All right. So now that the transition is out in the open, there's speaking of intolerance and people being tolerant to homosexuals, there was a story that came out on the 11th where another case of the religious freedom gives people the right to refuse service to people they don't like. In Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, the WW Bridal Shop had a tough moral decision of selling 2 dresses to 2 women who wanted to wear them in a ceremony that the shop owner would have had nothing to do with. And because this owner, Victoria Miller, who's actually a co-owner of the business, felt that it was her religious right to discriminate against a group of people that she doesn't like. Oh, sorry, but no, her God don't like the gays, so she don't like the gays. I wanted to get that out there because I wrote it and it was funny. She thought that it was reasonable to refuse service to this lesbian couple that came in, based on their sexual orientation. And, I mean, she was even blatant about it, that is specifically why she refused service. And even though same-sex marriage is legal in Pennsylvania, none of the state and city governments do not have any anti-discrimination laws for sexual orientation. So technically she's within her rights as a business owner. I mean, she can refuse service to anyone, but, you know, for saying that it's specifically because you're a lesbian, you know, that doesn't feel right. And of course, there's an outcry from the local community condemning the actions of Miss Victoria. Let's start calling her that, Miss Victoria. And people are calling for boycotts. But what I found funny about this is that even though the couple involved has not said that they're going to file any charges or anything yet, in a preemptive strike against the gay horde, Miller has already lawyered up. And
of course,
they're already talking about how this is her religious freedom and it gives her the right to refuse service to anyone. And there's already talks in the state government about making anti-discrimination laws because of this.
The part that just seems insane to me, this Victoria turned down these two ladies to trouser 2 sales versus the usual 1 in a marriage ceremony. I mean,
right?
You're getting 2 sales for the price of 1. I mean, like, why would you turn that down? You should be all for this.
They're just being self-righteous.
Sure, but she should be completely pro-lesbian wedding. I mean, if she sells wedding dresses, she should be the first one out there saying, "Hey, I sell dresses for weddings."
You would think, I mean, because some of those wedding dresses can go for
thousands, tens of thousands,
thousands of dollars, and so that actually does sound like an opportunity for a kind of like a discount, like you would do like a military discount or a senior discount.
You know what? if she sold wedding dresses but was pro male gay marriage, I could understand that in a little way, but I'm totally playing this off, but still, oh goodness, just a fucking idiot, one way or the other. But you know what? This is gonna fix itself one way or the other. I mean, people are gonna go to that business. The pro-Christian, they'll go and support this business, but there's gonna be so many other people that are just gonna not go there, and it'll self-correct.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, go ahead, Nancy.
No, I was just gonna say that's what a lot of people say. Like, well, if you don't like it, just shop somewhere else. And it's kind of a hard issue because, like you said, they are a private business. It depends on the laws. Like, do they have the right to refuse service or not? And it's a tough situation, but a lot of people take that stance where they just say, well, just shop somewhere else. And I think if people get their name in the news and enough people take a stand on the issue, then they might regret doing that.
There's two things: you got to vote at the ballot at the ballots, and then you got to vote with your wallet.
Right,
yep.
Exactly. I mean, there were enough people to vote same-sex marriage, into being legal. You would think that you wouldn't want to necessarily get on the bad end of all of the people who voted for that. But I don't know what the exact numbers were that came into getting that passed. But there has to be at least there are going to be people who are still going to shop there, and there's going to be a good amount of people who will refuse their service.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, can you, like, if you know who they are and they come in, like, let's say I own a private business. Can they come into my store and I say, oh, I'm refusing service to you because I don't like the way you conduct your business? Like, where do you draw the line?
It sounds like it's open to that right now if they don't really have anti-discrimination laws in the area. So
Mhm.
you could go by the whole, this business owner, has the right to refuse service to anybody they want.
Right. Yeah, but I think that they do already have anti-discrimination laws against, discrimination for race and gender and things like that. They just don't have, the anti-discrimination laws for sexual orientation yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Is the thing. And so, I mean, that, like, this situation, it also makes me think that if we do pass same-sex marriage in a state, shouldn't there automatically be anti-discrimination laws that go along with that?
It would sure be nice. But you know what? All these people that say it's a choice, like I'm sure Victoria does. You know,
Right.
and they always wonder, like, when did this gay person decide to be gay? I've always wanted to do the reverse and ask them, ask all these straight people, when did they decide to be straight?
Right.
When did you make the decision to be straight? Yeah, I know that, and that's always that's actually one of the more common things that I hear to rebuttal against people who say that homosexuality is a choice.
Sure.
It's like, when did you choose being to be heterosexual? When did you make that decision? When I was born. All right, well, they made the decision when they were born too. How about that? But oh man, somebody getting in on the Q&A here. Finally,
Oh.
jeez, Miss Heretic Woman from Google Plus here. She says that she probably thinks Jesus will give her better rewards for refusing the sale, and she gets to feel morally superior.
I agree with that.
Better rewards, or at least a 2-for-1 coupon at the Waffle House.
Oh, but don't you know that you can, with a word, you can get what you came for.
Did you guys hear the story about the Freedom from Religion Foundation didn't file a lawsuit. They sent a letter to a diner, I forget where, that was giving discounts to people that prayed in public.
Yep.
Wow.
And then they were giving them like 15% off or something. So the FRFF sent them a letter saying that you can't discriminate because you're giving a discount to certain people and not other people based on them praying in public. So they put up like this nasty letter, or like a nasty sign saying like, we're being sued, so we can't do this anymore. And you can kind of hear the sarcasm in it.
There's actually a little bit more to that. The lady that actually owns the place put out a letter and kind of apologized for it and said that she would stop.
Really?
But the owner's mother, I think it was, basically is the one that's doing the angry bit thing.
Oh.
So yeah, you know what? That is such a dick move. I'm trying to be nice about it, but these people.
Dick move of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, or
I'm sorry, no, of
the owner's grandmother,
of the owner's mother.
Okay.
I've heard of people like on our side saying that we're being too mean, that we're taking this too far, and no, this is something that needs to be countered every step, at least in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, it bleeds into everything, and this is just really, more and more examples every day, especially from some of these businesses, where it just like it corrupts what people do. I mean, you wouldn't give a discount to those people if you didn't have that religious influence, and you wouldn't have, people being discriminated against because of what they like to do to another consenting adult. It's ridiculous. It just bleeds into everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they need to step up and make people aware that it's not a Christian theocracy, and they can't do what they want, and people get so upset, like trying to stop people from praying. No, you can pray before you eat. You just can't get a discount for doing that because it's discrimination. Like, you wouldn't want people discriminating against you, so don't do it to other people.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I can completely, of course, understand that. It's just that, a lot of people, even in our Congress, don't even understand separation of church and state. Like, oh man, there was a video that I was watching earlier from. Do you guys watch or listen to the David Pakman show at all?
No.
On
No.
YouTube? He has a radio broadcast and he has a YouTube channel there, but there was a senator. I'm trying to find a link to the video, but he gave all 500. Here it is. A Republican senator sends a Bible to all 535 members of Congress for decision processes. Yeah, and I guess they were saying that it's not necessarily against the law or breaking the separation of church and state because it was a gift that he gave to all of the members of Congress. But at the same time, it's like we have Buddhists in Congress, and we have people who aren't even Christian in Congress, and it's like you just slapped them in the face, dude, and told them to take decision-making processes from your book.
Right.
Well, one of that guy's constituents gave all those Bibles to him supposedly for free to distribute. And yeah, what an ass. I mean, just to say, I mean, set any unknown atheist aside, I mean, that is such a slap in the face to anybody else that's out there that isn't Christian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or not the right kind of Christian.
And if they follow what the Bible says, they're going to be in jail. Because there's so much horrible, crazy shit in there.
Who was this? Republican Congressman Stephen Palazzo. Palazzo? Yeah, but that is just fucking terrible. That even our Congress can't even understand the concept of separation of church and state, but like you said, yeah, you need to get out there and you need to speak up with your vote, and you need to speak up, with your wallet too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you don't like the shit that's going on with these people, then fucking vote them out. It's that easy. Well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that easy, but.
If it's somebody in office and there's nobody that's really running against them, fuck it, run yourself.
Or you could, oh no, don't put Chuck Norris, no.
That's such a wasted vote.
Seriously. Oh, damn.
He is the Christian right.
Yeah. Oh, man. No, we, somehow I mentioned on Twitter Chuck Norris, and about how he's such a horrible, horrible fundamentalist Christian, but...
He is, but the memes are so awesome.
Dude, I got followed by like 6 different Chuck Norris accounts. Like, not even parody accounts, just straight up, Chuck Norris rocks, and you mentioned Chuck Norris, so we're going to follow you. It's like, did you people even read the tweet?
Oh, that is definitely a good point, Miss Heretic Woman.
Yeah, I see that.
Magic 8 balls. It would have been more helpful.
So Heretic Woman is awesome, actually. She's going to be helping Paul out with Koranify Me. So keep an eye out for her.
Oh, sweet.
Nice. There you go. Little shout out for Mrs. Miss Heretic Woman there. Perfect. And of course, a shout out for Paul. Thanks a lot, Nancy. I tried to not mention him in at least one of our shows.
I'm surprised he's not here. I don't know where he's at today.
Paul, you bastard. Another guy that called out on me at the last minute to go out to have beers.
Oh, boo.
Oh.
Is he in your guys' area too?
Well, I mean,
maybe,
possibly. He's everywhere. He like travels all over the place, Him
and Mohammed, they're tight. They get around.
Right.
Oh.
In that kind of way,
You should all come to the East Coast.
Yeah, But, Mohammed, he's a bottom, Paul's a top. So, it works out well.
Right, yeah. Wow, okay, this is starting to get a little bit weird here. And we are 15 minutes over our time, guys. I am getting some funny looks over here.
Uh-oh.
Just
All
an
right.
FYI. But, so yeah, I think that we're going to have to wrap it up, even though it's such an awesome conversation. I'm really glad that I had both of you guys here. This was awesome. And Heretic Woman, thank you so much for getting into the Q&A. That is awesome. I'm under the understanding that some of our video keeps cutting out, and there was a little bit of a issue with the broadcast here, but at least you people can hear us. Yeah, there you go. But for some reason, Wesley, your video is still coming through. No problem.
Badass.
I know, right? Everybody gets to look at your beautiful face all freaking night.
Goddamn right.
So, okay, now to the Pimpins. Of course, we've already mentioned him a couple of times, but everybody go out there and check out Paul, Mr. Koranify Me. Of course, check out Wesley's shit, Atheist Nomads. Check them out. Let's see, who else can we talk about? We got Gamma. If you go and check out a show that he did the last week, Gamma Atheist Hangouts. Steve and I were on that, and Paul was on that, and we were talking about podcasts. Shoot, there's so many different people. I can't even go through all of this.
Oh, yeah, and please follow me at Wesley D Nomad. That's WesleyDNomad.
On the Twitters. Check out the Twitters. And everybody follow us on the Twitters. Mine is right down there, or if my video is out, you can't see it, but it's at Davetheist. And Nancy is over there if you have any pimpins that you want to do, Nancy.
I'm on Twitter at NancyDrewPI, and I'm also on Facebook. I'm not sure if there's a lot of Nancy Drews out there, but you can find me via Nancy Drew, and then you can see I have the same picture, so maybe that'll help.
Perfect, awesome. And I gotta say that I really do like the picture that you created there.
Oh, you know what? Godless Mom made that for me at
sweet.
Godless. It's at Godless_Mom.
Nice, awesome. And oh man, you have a fan here, Miss Meredith Brogan. Wesley says that your face is beautiful.
Thanks, baby.
Oh, there you go. Oh well, that doesn't count anymore. Jeez, your girlfriend? Come on.
Oh boy.
Well, of course she thinks that your face is beautiful, but if my video is working, you could all see my beautiful face while I do this. All right.
Cute.
Kinda, just a little bit. I was going to shave, but I completely forgot, so I have like a little gaucho mustache going on here. Yes, so again, Nancy, thank you so much for coming on and co-hosting with me. That was awesome. We're going to have you back because I like, talking to you. That was fun. And Wesley, thank you so much again for joining us. We're going to be on next week again, same time. I'm going to try and keep doing this weekly for a little while here as I get into more of a routine, whatever I want to do with it. But next week, my wife and I are going to be on the show together, and we are going to have Jonathan Tweet, the author of the new children's book that just got funded, Grandmother Fish, which is a evolutionary book for toddlers and preschoolers. So it should be awesome. Check it out. And unless anybody has anything else that they want to say that they didn't get the chance to say.
No, but I'm happy to be on anytime and check out my sweet zombie Jesus tattoo.
That is awesome.
Nice. Here, let me highlight you here real quick. Zombie Jesus. That is awesome.
I got his mom too.
That is amazing. I love it.
Nice.
Anyways, thank you so much. I had a lot of fun, and anytime you want to have me back, if you do, by all means.
Oh, I'm sure that we'll have you back, and we'll have to also, get together to get drunk. Anyway, all right. Thank you, everybody who showed up and was on the Q&A there. Well, Miss Heretic Woman, thank you so much. And you, have a godless night.